a win. That word alone makes people's eyes light up, their hearts race, their minds spin with pictures of glory. But here's the twist. Most people think winning comes slow, a steady climb, a gentle reward for their patience. No. Sometimes it crashes down all at once, heavy, overwhelming, bigger than you imagined. A win so massive, it doesn't fit neatly into your hands. It shakes your life. It flips your story. It blindsides you in the best way possible. And the funny part, you don't even see it coming. You think you're losing, breaking, crawling, when in reality, the board is being set for a victory that will make sense of every bruise, every scar, every sleepless night. A win so massive it doesn't just change the game. It becomes the game people wait for victories the way children wait for gifts. Eyes wide, hearts hopeful, already rehearsing the smile they'll wear when it finally arrives. They picture the moment playing out neatly, like some perfect scene, predictable and satisfying. But life doesn't hand you wins wrapped in shiny paper with a bow on top. No, it's far more twisted than that. Wins rarely come the way you expect, because if they did, they wouldn't even feel like wins. They'd feel staged, scripted, dull. The truth is, real victories are messy. They don't follow your plans. They rip through them. They don't arrive on time. They arrive late, or too early, or at the exact moment you've stopped believing they'll ever come. And that's why they hit so hard. They catch you off guard. Think about the way people chase success. They map out their steps. They set their deadlines. They plan their perfect little futures. They whisper to themselves, "This is how it's supposed to happen." And when it doesn't go according to that plan, they panic, they break down, they think the win has passed them by. But what they don't see is that life loves to play tricks. It doesn't deliver victories through the front door. It sneaks them through the cracks, slipping them in when you're least prepared to handle them. Sometimes you're crying. Sometimes you're broke. Sometimes you're standing in ashes thinking the story is over. And that's the exact moment the wind shows up. Not because you're ready, but because you're not. Because victories aren't designed to fit into your schedule. They're designed to rewrite it, you see. When people expect something, they control it in their minds. They drain the magic out of it before it even arrives. They daydream it into a dull routine. But when a win comes unexpectedly, it shakes you. It grabs you by the throat and forces you to pay attention. Suddenly, every loss before it makes sense. Every disappointment becomes part of the buildup. Every no you heard turns into the echo that makes the yes louder. That's why real wins never match your vision. If they did, you'd take them for granted. You'd nod and say, "Of course. This is how it was supposed to go." But the best victories laugh at your expectations. They crash through your walls. They make you stumble. They leave you gasping because you didn't see them coming. And that's the real beauty of it. The unexpected win forces you to admit you're not in control. It humbles you and exalts you at the same time. 1 second, you're down in the dirt, swearing that nothing good will ever happen. And the next, you're standing on a mountain you didn't even know you were climbing. That's why it feels massive. That's why it feels surreal. Because you couldn't predict it. You couldn't fake it. You couldn't force it. It just happened, and in that happening, it reminds you that life isn't here to follow your script. It's here to surprise you, to break you, to test you, and then, just when you're about to give up, to hand you a win so shocking you can barely believe it's yours. But here's the cruel trick of the mind. While you're waiting, you'll convince yourself the win is never coming. You'll measure yourself against others. You'll think their victories mean yours is canceled. You'll curse the delays. You'll hate the silence. You'll despise the waiting. Yet all along, the win is being shaped in shadows, just out of sight, swelling bigger, heavier, more uncontainable with every setback. And when it drops, oh, when it drops, it'll be so different, so unlike what you pictured, that you'll laugh. You'll laugh at yourself for ever doubting. Laugh at the years of worry. Laugh at the way you thought you knew how it would all play out. Because the truth is, the win was never late. It was never lost. It was never forgotten. It was simply never going to arrive the way you expected. So, when people tell you to wait for your time, they don't mean sit still and picture the finish line. They mean keep moving even when the path twists. Keep breathing even when the air gets thin. Keep living even when everything feels pointless. Because the win is hiding in the chaos. It's hiding in the failure. It's hiding in the cracks of your story. And when it finally reveals itself, it won't look like what you imagined. It'll be better, bigger, wilder. The kind of win you couldn't have drawn in your plans, the kind you can't explain to anyone else, because it doesn't make sense, at least not the way you thought it would. And that's the secret. Winds rarely arrive the way you expect. And that's the only reason they mean anything at all. Struggle. That ugly, unwanted guest that barges into every life. Nobody sends it an invitation, but it always finds its way in. People hate it, curse it, beg for it to leave. They see struggle as punishment, as proof that they're failing, as evidence that life is against them. But what if it isn't? What if struggle isn't a curse at all, but the setup for something bigger than you can imagine? What if the very weight that's breaking your back is the same weight that's building the strength you'll need to carry the wind that's waiting ahead? Funny, isn't it, how people ask for victory, but cry when struggle answers the door? They don't realize those two always travel together, like shadows and light, like fire and smoke. Struggle feels cruel because it doesn't announce its purpose. It never says, "Relax, I'm here to prepare you." No, it just squeezes you, starves you, breaks your routine, takes from you until you're stripped raw. And in that rawness, you think you're done. You think life has cornered you. You think the story is over. But that's when the foundation is being laid, when the real work is happening behind the curtain. People think wins are built on talent, skill, luck, or timing. They're not. They're built on struggle, because only struggle forces you to stretch, to bleed, to adapt. Only struggle teaches you how to stand when standing feels impossible. Without it, you'd crumble the moment you got what you asked for. Picture someone who wins too easily. No pain, no scars, no lessons. They smile for a moment, sure, but it fades. It always fades. Because ease never leaves a mark, and marks are what give victories their weight. Struggle burns the memory into your bones. It's what makes you cry harder, fight harder, pray harder, scream louder. It's what carves resilience into your chest, so that when the wind finally arrives, you don't just hold it. You grip it like your life depends on it. Because it does. People without struggle waste their victories. They drop them, lose them, throw them away. But people who've walked through fire, they clutch their wins like treasure because they know the cost. And the strange thing is, struggle isn't just preparation, it's proof. Proof that something worth having is on its way. Think about it. The harder the pushback, the closer the breakthrough. Nobody fights for something that doesn't matter. Life doesn't break you for the fun of it. It breaks you because it knows what's being built inside you needs more space, more grit, more depth. That's why the nights get darker before the sunrise. That's why everything feels heavier right before it gets lighter. The struggle is not random, it's rehearsal. It's sharpening your instincts, toughening your skin, teaching you lessons your comfort zone never could. Most people miss that because they're too focused on the pain. They sit in the middle of struggle and say, "Why me? Why now? Why this?" They look at others who seem to be winning and think they've been forgotten. But what they don't see is that while the others might be celebrating little victories, they're being prepared for something massive. Their struggle isn't punishment, it's protection. It's the universe saying, "Not yet, not this way, not this small." The longer the struggle, the greater the setup, the deeper the cut, the sweeter the healing. And when the win finally comes, the same people who pitied you will call it overnight success, not knowing the years of silent wars you fought to get there. Struggle is the setup because it makes sure you can survive the very victory you've been begging for. Everyone wants the crown, but nobody talks about the weight of it. Struggle trains your neck to carry it. Everyone wants the spotlight, but nobody mentions the heat of it. Struggle prepares your skin not to burn. Everyone wants freedom, but nobody understands the cost. Struggle makes sure you've paid in advance. Without it, victory would crush you. With it, you rise, not just to claim the win, but to keep it, protect it, and grow it. That's the irony. Struggle isn't the enemy of victory. It's the guarantee of it. So when you feel cornered, when the pressure is choking you, when everything is falling apart, don't mistake it for failure. See it for what it is, the setup. The stage being built, the fire forging the steel, the storm preparing the ground for harvest. Because the truth is simple, struggle is never the end. It's the middle. It's the silence before the music drops. It's the wait before the lift. It's the dark tunnel before the blinding light. And the bigger the struggle, the bigger the win, waiting at the other end, a massive win, never feels gentle when it arrives. It doesn't slip into your life like a quiet guest. It storms in, slams doors, shatters routines, and makes you question if you're even ready for it. That's why at first it feels overwhelming. You've been asking, waiting, bleeding for a breakthrough, and then suddenly it drops in your lap so heavy it almost breaks you before it blesses you. People think winning is supposed to feel like relief, like a breath of fresh air. But no, sometimes it feels like you're drowning in the very ocean you prayed for too much too fast. And that's the point. It stretches you beyond what you thought you could carry. It forces you to expand, to adapt, to become someone bigger than who you were yesterday. It's funny how people imagine success. They think it's clean, shiny, golden. But the truth is, when the big win comes, it's messy. It brings new responsibilities, new battles, new eyes watching, new enemies lurking. You thought you were fighting just to get there, but the real fight begins when you arrive. That's why the win feels overwhelming, because it exposes whether you've built the strength to hold it or not. A small victory can slip through careless fingers, but a massive win demands everything from you. It doesn't come to make your life easier. It comes to make your life louder, heavier, brighter. And brightness blinds, weight crushes, volume deafens if you're not ready for it. Most people pray for the win, but never prepare for the wait. They say, I just want one chance, one break, one door to open. Then when the door finally explodes off its hinges, they freeze, they panic, they run. Because what they really wanted wasn't a massive win. It was a convenient one, a neat one, something they could control. But real victories are never controllable. They spill into every corner of your life. They change how people see you. They change how you see yourself. They come with pressure, and pressure reveals cracks. That's why some people lose their blessings as quickly as they receive them, because they never understood that wins are not rewards. They're responsibilities. The overwhelming nature of a massive win is what makes it real. Think about it. If it didn't shake you, it wouldn't be worth it. If it didn't stretch you, it wouldn't grow you. If it didn't scare you, it wouldn't change you. Overwhelm isn't the enemy. It's the proof that what you've received is bigger than what you were. It's life forcing you to level up instantly, without asking, without warning. And that shock, that's the refining fire. It burns away the smallness, the doubts, the excuses. It leaves you raw, vulnerable, but stronger than you've ever been. And there's a strange beauty in it. when the wind first hits, you think you can't handle it. You doubt yourself. You shake, you almost drop it. But as days pass, you realize you're adapting. You're growing into it. The same wind that scared you starts to shape you. You learn how to stand taller, how to breathe deeper, how to move differently. The overwhelm transforms into ownership. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Yes, me." That's the secret. Massive winds feel like drowning at first, but they teach you how to swim in deeper waters. They don't shrink to fit you. You expand to fit them. People rarely admit this part. They love to tell the story of the wind, but not the weight of it. They show you the crown, not the neck it bent. They flaunt the spotlight, not the shadows that chase them afterward. But the truth is, the overwhelm is the price of greatness. It's not a glitch, it's a feature. It makes sure you don't waste what you've been given, that you don't treat something priceless like it's common. The heaviness of the wind is what etches gratitude into your bones. Without that overwhelm, you'd lose it before you ever learned its worth. So if the victory feels like too much, if it crashes down on you like a tidal wave, if it shakes you to the core, don't misread it. That's not punishment. That's confirmation. That's how you know it's massive. Winds that change your life don't arrive politely. They arrive violently. They break you before they build you. And that first feeling of being overwhelmed is not weakness. It's transformation in real time. It's the evidence that you're no longer the person who was waiting. You've become the person who was chosen. And chosen people don't get small victories. They get the ones that demand everything, the ones that flip their world upside down, the ones that feel unbearable until they finally become undeniable. Loss is a trickster. It shows up dressed as failure, rejection, humiliation, and you curse it, hate it, push it away like a plague. But here's the punchline. It was never loss at all. It was preparation. Every so-called setback, every door slammed in your face, every tear you swallowed in silence was carving you into something sharper, something hungrier, something capable of holding what was meant for you. The problem is, people only see the surface. They see the pain, the fall, the emptiness, but they don't see the construction happening underneath. They don't notice how every cut teaches endurance, how every betrayal teaches clarity, how every wound teaches wisdom. Loss looks like destruction, but it's actually the training ground for elevation. Think about it. What if you were handed everything you wanted without the weight of those losses? You'd drop it. You wouldn't have the muscles to carry it, the scars to protect it, the discipline to honor it. Loss is the heavy bag in the gym that nobody loves but everybody needs. It hits back. It bruises. It drains you. But it makes you strong enough for the real fight. Without it, victory would crush you. That's why loss always comes first. It breaks down the weak parts of you so the strong parts can finally surface. And when the wind shows up, you realize every heartbreak was actually rehearsing you for the stage you were destined to stand on